Good morning, all the students. You know the lockdown is going on, and it is already extended up to 3rd May of this year. Naturally, I have few classes related on the bakery or FT603 during this period. Today, I will discuss about the baking and baking oven. But before I start my lecture, I will quote one greatest scientist named Venkat Raman Ramakrishnan, who got Nobel Prize in Chemistry in year 2009, and he told it it is not about where you were born or where you come from that makes you a good scientist. So where you actually born and where you come from into this beautiful world, that is not the matter to make you a good scientist. He further told that what you need are good teachers, co-students and the facilities. So basically you know need your teachers who can enlighten your curiosity, your knowledge, your motivator, and who can help whenever you may fall. So good teachers is also very important for your life to make a good scientist. Not only that, you also need your good cooperative students, not the negative friends. Always you need the positive minded friends. And last and not the least, all you have present but you have no facilities. You have brain, you have good teachers, you have good friends, but you are not provided any facilities. So how you can go forward, that is thinkable in this matter. So we, or I don't elaborate further, because you think you have to become someone who can serve positively to the nation, not the negative approach to the nation, positive approach to the nation. So already I told that today's topic is baking oven, baking oven, and you know that without baking, you cannot produce any bakery product. Already I told you so many classes that baking is the heart of the bakery industry. So you must have to know about the baking and baking oven. Baking oven actually bake the product. It can releases the moisture. It can enhance the structure shape. Not only that, the final color and the texture of your product, of biscuit product or any bakery product, is dependent or directly dependent on baking or baking oven. So first I show you a picture related on baking oven. So this is the picture of baking oven. I think you may see it. You understand? This is the picture of the baking oven. In this picture, you follow, there are two round shaped in my right hand side and in my left hand side. So what is this two round shaped figure? The two round shaped figures are called oven drums. This one is oven drum and this one also we called the oven drum. But this right hand side oven drum is called the tensioning drum and this left hand side oven drum is called the driven drum. So this driven drum is connected with a motor. That means that this motor and the driven drum is connected with a belt, obviously metallic belt. This motor and this driven drum is connected with a metallic belt. So whenever this motor rotates, since this drum and the motor are attached by the belt, metallic belt, so this drum or the so-called driven drum is also rotates. Like our rail engine, the rail engine actually carries all the bogies behind. So this drum is actually rotating by means of motor. So that is why it is called the driven drum. And this driven drum and this tensioning drum are joined through a metallic belt, or it is commonly called oven band. So this left hand side driven drum and right hand side tensioning drum is joined by oven band. Like your or our bicycle, the one wheel is rotating by yourself and that rotating wheel is connected with the front wheel, and automatically the front wheel rotates. So since this driven drum is rotating, this tensioning drum is also rotating, since they are connected with the metallic belt, or it is commonly called in industry, it is oven band. So this is why this is called the tensioning drum, because you know what is tension. So this drum is actually, this driven drum is actually pulls this drum, and that is why it is called the tensioning drum. And you may follow, there is one handle present in the tensioning drum or my right hand side drum. This handle is called, it is band tensioner. What do you mean by this band tensioner? It means that suppose at hot condition the length of the oven band is increased. You know, the metal expands at high temperature. So whenever this metal or this oven band made of metal is hot, then this band will be the band length. This is called the band length. This axis to this axis is called the band length. Actually total band length is calculated in industry, but in this figure this point and that point is called the band length, oven band length. So whenever the metallic band length increases, then you know this will be loose, this metallic band or oven band will be loose, so you have to tight by this handle. Oppositely, whenever the band becomes cool, then the metal band or the oven band length decreases. So again you adjust this oven band length by this handle, because this oven band length always must be fixed. Suppose if it is 100 meter, it is 100 meter for the summer season or the hot condition, or 100 meter in winter season or cold condition. So this must be 100 meter throughout the season, throughout the year. That is very important. So by this handle you can adjust the 100 meter oven length or the oven band length. Next one, come to the band cleaner, that is on my left hand side driven drum. So can you follow? The band cleaner is here, it is band cleaner. So if you follow, this oven band is actually starting from here, it is rounding, cover the drum, and again it is back side of this drum, and again come this and this. So this, whenever this product, from where product can inject, so the product will inject from my right hand side to the left hand side. Can you follow? Because the right hand side, it is clockwise. So whenever the clockwise movement is there, the product is actually moves from the my right hand side to the left hand side. And during this product ejection into this oven, then after the discharge here, this is entry point of the product, this is the discharge point of the product. After the discharge, some product may be, because the dough is slightly viscous, so after the release of the product, slight material can be sticked on the oven band. So by this band cleaner, you can remove those unwanted baked product. You understand? That is carbonaceous or black type of materials. So if you consume this black type of materials, there is a problem. So that black type of materials are directly attached on here. So this black color or black type of dough, actually these are dough, are released by this band cleaner. And another point is that here one extra heater is placed. Why the heater? Because whenever this band will come from this point to that point, then the band may be cooled. But the cooling of the band is not allowed. So extra heater or extra heating arrangement is placed just entry of the tensioning drum. So just entry of the tensioning drum or entry to the oven, this extra heater is present. Next one, I think you have to follow. Whenever the product is entry, there is one axis. This is axis of this, or it is vertical axis. There is a distance between this axis and the oven in. This is actually the oven chamber. My two finger, this 2-point difference, my right hand finger and the left hand finger, this 2-point difference is actual oven. Actual oven is this point to that point. So the product, before the product is entry into this oven, then there is a difference between this vertical axis and this oven entry point, that is called the band run in. So this axis, vertical axis, and the oven entry point, this difference is called the band run in. Obviously the oven point ends, and this vertical axis of the driven drum, this is called the band run out. This small distance is called the band run out. So band run in, band run out. In means that the product is injected from here, and out means the product is released from here. This oven actually have three sections: section 1, section 2 and section 3. All the sections you follow, there is some release point, this point and that point, some release points are there. So this is called the exhaust duct. These are the called, this point, this exhaust point, this is the exhaust point, and this is the exhaust point. So basically the zones are divided, the baking zones are divided into three major portion: 1, 2 and the 3. This is the zone 1, this is zone 2 and this is zone 3. Zone 1 contains some exhaust duct, Zone 2 contains exhaust duct, and Zone 3 also contain exhaust duct. But I think you follow, for each of the exhaust duct there is some types of arrangement that is called the damper or valve like thing, that is damper. Damper is there. What is damper? How much quantity of the vapor or the leavening gases or other volatile materials or maybe humid air you want to release to the atmosphere, that is controlled by the three dampers. That is controlled by the three dampers: damper number 1, damper number 2, damper number 3. So damper is what? It is nothing but a valve like. How much quantity of the water vapor or moisture or volatile gases or humid hot air you want to release to the atmosphere, that is controlled by the damper. If the damper is 100% open, then all the gases are released. If the damper is 50% open, then 50% can release, 50% can stay here. So this duct and damper arrangement are present in each and every zone. Though baking oven contains three basic zones, 1, 2 and the 3, but actually in industry you will follow there are 10 to 12 number of zones for the reputed industry, not like that our local area bakery unit, because they have ita bhatti, brick oven or other type of oven. I I am not telling you about that type of oven. I telling you the oven which is used for the reputed bakery industries. I not mention the industries, but those industries are used this type of oven. So this oven contains 10 to 12 zones, but here I mention the three basic zones of any oven: zone 1, zone 2 and zone 3. So basically this is I think all about of the discussion of the baking oven with neat diagram. You can draw yourself. You listen carefully and you can draw this diagram. And generally the band length, already I told you, this is called the band length. The vertical distance between the two drums are called the band length. It is generally 30 to 150 meter. The bands are made of stainless steel. You write down band length is 30 to 150 meter and band width is 600 to 1500 millimeter. What is band width? So if it is called the band length, then this portion is called the band width. If this is called the band length, then this is called the band width. This distance, the 2 points distance, is called the band width. The band width is 600 to 1500 millimeter. That is very important. If your productivity is maximum, then the band width may be maximum, band length will be maximum. If your productivity is less, then the band width is less, band length is also less. And naturally also you have to follow the production capacity. I just mentioned about the production capacity or productivity. This production capacity of the line means in industry this is called line. Ah, online you already habituated during this lockdown period, that is online. So line means what? A processing is continuously going on. A food product is produced continuously in a plant. This is in industry. This is called as a line. So production capacity of the line, the main factors of this production capacity are, you write down the main factors of the production capacity, because already just I told you that the oven length is always fixed. I'll just before I told you this oven length is always fixed in summer, in winter, in any season, in rainy day, throughout the year, this oven length is fixed. So once you set this oven length in your plant, say it is say 200 meter. So it is 200 meter throughout the season but throughout the year. So the main factors are number one, oven length which is fixed. Baking time which is variable. Why the baking time is variable? What is baking time? The baking time is that the residence time. Suppose this product is entry here and product is leaves from here. So the path between this point and that point is called the actual baking path. So this path traveling time is called the baking time. So the time required to pass from my right hand point to this from my left hand point is called the baking time. This is variable. It is not fixed. Why it is variable? If the driven drum speed is slow, then the baking time will be high. If the driven drum speed is high or RPM is high, then the baking time will be slow. So if it is fast rotating, then the baking time will be slow. If it is slow rotating or slow RPM, the baking time will be high. So baking time you can adjust in plant according to your product. Suppose your product is glucose biscuit, then suppose the baking time is say 20 minutes or 25 minutes, and suppose you want to run cream cake or biscuit, the baking time is only 5 to 7 minutes. So naturally for the glucose biscuit, your driven drum speed will be slow, and for the cream cake or biscuit, your driven drum speed will be fast or RPM will be fast. So baking time is variable. Next one is that individual product weight. Suppose your glucose biscuit individual product means your glucose biscuit weight is say initially 30 gram. For the cream caker initially say 50 gram. So your product initial weight is also very important for the productivity. Next one is that product area and the shape. Product area and the shape means that suppose this is your product and this is your shape. So this product area and the shape of this product is rectangle. So product area and the shape is also important for the productivity. Suppose your product shape is rectangle and its area is this. So it is number one piece of product. And suppose your product is square shaped, you divided this total rectangle into 3 square, then your product shape is now changed into square shaped. So your product shape and area is also important to increase your productivity. For the first case you will get number 1 or 1 number of bakery product, and second case when you divide into 3 you get the 3 number of bakery product. So product area, or say your bakery product area, and the shape is also very important. And last and not the least, I already told you that the conveyor width is also important. If your conveyor width is this, then your number of biscuits are less or number of bakery products are less. If your conveyor width is more, then the number of biscuits or the number of bakery products are more. So conveyor width is also very important for the baking oven. So this is some brief idea about the baking oven and its different sections. Now I tell you, that is the, I already told you that there are three different zones: zone 1, zone 2 and the zone 3. What is the role of zone 1? You write down: the structural changes takes place in the dough. In zone 1, the structural changes take place in the dough or your raw material. The thickness and sizes increases due to the aeration of the dough. The thickness and the size of your product increases due to the aeration of the dough. Zone 2, major moisture loss is happened in zone 2. And in zone 3, coloring of the product, your baking product color or bakery product color is finally dependent on the zone 3. So these are the some idea about your 3 zones. So at the zone 1 or the first phase, the expansion of the dough and the loss of moisture. At the zone 1 or phase 1, it is the expansion of the dough and the loss of moisture. And in zone 2 or the second phase, the expansion of the dough further. Expansion happens at the first zone also, but the second zone the expansion happens more as compared with the zone 1 or the phase 1 or first phase. And maximum loss of moisture. In zone 1, generally the surface moisture are released, and in zone 2, major portion of the moisture, all the unbound moisture as well as the maximum amount of the bound moisture are released in zone 2. So naturally the zone 2 is very important zone as compared with the 3 zones. The zone 3, the product becomes thinner. The product becomes thinner. After zone 2, it is like this, and whenever it's released from the zone 3, its product becomes thinner. The rate of moisture loss decreases. Here, moisture loss is very minimum, and the intensity of the color of the product increases. In zone 3, the color is developed, or the intensity of the color of the product or final product increases and develop to maximum and desired or your target level. Your target color of the bakery product is fixed for the particular variety. So this final color or the targeted color is fixed at the zone 3. So now I will give you or show you one graph that is very important in bakery industry or the for the bakery baking oven. What actually happens? Already I told you, in baking oven there are 3 zones. Zone 1, the structural design or shape of the structure changes and slight amount of the moisture releases. Zone 2 maximum amount of the moisture releases and maximum structural changes happens, and zone 3 very little amount of the moisture releases and the color of the final product actually develops here, maximum develops here. So if I ask or anybody ask you which one length, zone 1 length or zone 2 length or zone 3 length is greater, naturally your answer will be zone 2 oven length is maximum, because here the maximum moisture percentage lost. Not only that, the maximum shape and the size of the product is developed in zone 2. And out of the three zones, which zone length is less out of the three? The answer is zone 3. The reason is that here the very little amount of the moisture releases, here the products not thickened rather than thinned. So the product thin means that the less length of your zone. And not only that, the color develops here. So this zone have less length, this zone have highest length, and this zone have moderate length. In between the two, if it is 100 meter, if it is 50 meter, it is 60 or 70 meter, like that. So I think this is clear cut idea about the all zones. Now I will show an important graph regarding the different changes or properties changes happen inside the oven. I will show you there are three properties or changes inside the oven or during the baking of your bakery product. So the three properties you write down. Number 1 is weight, number 2 is thickness, number 3 is the color. Number 1 is the weight. Number 1 is the weight. Number 2 is the thickness. Number 2 is the thickness. And number 3 is the color. Number 3 is the color. So these properties I will show you in this graph. How these three properties are changing বা are changed inside the baking zone or inside the three baking zones, important baking zones. You follow. So in this graph, first you draw this graph. This is property. This is properties. Yes. The y-axis is properties and the x-axis is baking time. You know, any scientist can say that the time always increases. So the time always increases from my this point to that point. From my right hand point to the left hand point, the time always increases. Time never ever decreases. So first one is that the thickness or the weight, not the thickness, first one is weight. First one is weight. So I divide this graph into the three zone. This is zone 1, this is zone 2, and my left hand is zone 3. So zone 1, middle one is zone 2, middle 3 is zone 3. So you divided the graph into three equal portions. So zone 1, weight property. The weight of the bakery product or weight of your product is gradually decreasing. Can you follow? That is, the weight of the product is gradually decreasing from the zone 1 starting point to the entry of the zone 2 to the entry of the zone 3 and to the release of the zone 3. The weight is gradually decreasing. Can you say that why the weight is gradually decreasing? Because I already told you in each and every zone the moisture losses are taking place. The moisture released from the dough. So whenever the moisture released from the dough, then the product waste gradually decreases. Like us, suppose in our body 67% moisture or water is present, if that moisture or the water release, then our total volume and the total weight of our body gradually decreases. So similar like that, if your dough moisture gradually decreases and all the three zones the moisture decreases, so the weight gradually decreases from zone 1 to zone 2 and the zone 3. So this is the weight line, weight property line. And what about the thickness property line? The thickness of the property in zone 1 is almost same, but just at the end of the zone 1 and the entry of the zone 2, the thickness slightly increases. The thickness more or less constant at this point, but at the entry point or just at the end of the zone 1, the thickness increases, and this thickness increases continuously or the sharply at the zone 2, and it reaches to the maximum level. The thickness reaches to the maximum level at this point, and whenever it entry into the zone 3, that is the already I told you that in zone 3 the product becomes thin and the product becomes thinner like this. So you understand? So the thickness constant increases and entry into the zone 2 maximum. Then whenever it placed into the zone 3, the thickness gradually decreases. So you understand the properties of the thickness changes during the three zones. And last and not the least, the color of the product. The color of the product, if you follow, the color of the product is not changed in zone 1. It is a straight line. This is the color line. So color of the product is constant at zone 1 and the color is again constant at the zone 2. But at the end of the zone 2, the color slightly increases. Slightly color develops. So at the end point of the zone 2, only the color develops, and the color gradually develops or developing at the zone 3. This is zone 3, this is zone 1, this is zone 2, and this is zone 3. The color gradually increasing at the zone 3 at your desired level or the final destination color. So these three properties are very important in the baking oven, by inside the baking oven. Now other changes also happen, you may write down inside the baking oven. Other changes also happen. They are the viscosity of the dough is reduces. The viscosity of the dough also reduces so much as it warms up. So viscosity reduces because you know dough, whenever the dough entry into the baking oven, whenever dough entry into the baking oven, this dough has some viscosity, and that is why dough is alternatively called viscoelastic material. So this dough has some viscosity, but as the baking time increasing, the viscosity gradually reduces, because you know whenever the product becomes solid, any solid material have no viscosity. So whenever your product becomes completely solid, like the final product, like your biscuit, cookie, etc., then it has no viscosity. The viscosity of the dough gradually reduces so as it is warmed up or as it warms up. The gelatinization of the starch taking place, because you know this starch has a tendency to gelatinize. Whenever it absorbs water, then from the protein matrix, whenever or the gluten matrix, whenever the starch absorbs water, the starch performs the gelatinization reaction, and whenever the gelatinization reaction is happens, then the product becomes cooked, or you may say that the product is glazed. So by the gelatinization technique, a gel is formed, and that during the formation of this gel, the product is glazed. So this type of change also happens. And another point is that the coagulation of the gluten, or alternatively you call that the denaturation of the protein, coagulation of the gluten or the denaturation of the protein. Next changes, or the fourth number of changes, is that inactivation of the enzymes, because you know in any biochemical reaction these biochemical reactions are happened. This is the gelatinization of the starch, coagulation of the protein, dextrinization, or say Maillard type of reaction, or say caramelization, etc. All are browning reaction, all are enzymely specific or enzymely controlled. Obviously the temperature is required for these reactions or these biochemical reactions also, but these reactions also need some enzymes. That enzyme is coming from the flour, or sometimes we may add some enzymes in for the dough making. For the fermented dough, there is no shortage of the enzymes. Enough amount of the so many varieties of the enzyme present in the fermented dough. For the non-fermented dough, the enzymes are also present. So as the time passes, or as the baking time increases, the what actually happens, the your enzyme is deactivated. Caramelization can occur. Caramelization of or the this type of color reaction can be happened. Formation of the brown dextrin. Already I told you, suppose your product crust color is brown, or maybe your total product color is brown. So why it is happened? It is due to the formation of the brown dextrin production. So these are the changes happens inside the baking. Biochemical changes also happens inside the uh, oven. Next I will go to the what actually happens at what temperature inside the oven. You may write down the yeast cells. If it is fermented dough, then obviously you use yeast or the Saccharomyces cerevisiae. You know without yeast you cannot produce the fermented dough. So normal baking temperature is say 180 degrees centigrade, 200 degrees centigrade, 220 degrees centigrade, 250 degrees centigrade, 300 degrees centigrade, up to 350 degrees centigrade the temperature I found in industry. So for the cream cracker biscuit or something like that, and the minimum temperature is that the minimum temperature is 110, 120 like that degree centigrade like that. So suppose the bread is baked. Generally the bread is baked at 230 to 240 degrees centigrade temperature for 30 to 40 minutes. For 30 to 40 minutes. So at this temperature, what actually happens inside the baking oven, I will now tell you. The yeast cell become inactivated at 45 degrees centigrade temperature. Whenever the yeast cells are present outside the oven, it is totally live. You understand? But whenever it is enter into the oven, it is inactivated or deactivated at 45 degrees centigrade temperature, and yeast cells are completely killed at 55 to 60 degrees centigrade temperature. And at this temperature, these yeast cells are completely killed or completely destroyed. And what happens, already I told you, the gelatinization of the starch, that is also very important, performs or happens at 65 degrees centigrade temperature. So, why gelatinization of the starch is required? For the cooking, for the gel formation, for your final dough making, like biscuit making or the bakery making, baking product making, it is very important. And at this temperature also, converting this starch into the maltose and the dextrine. So during baking, the formation of the dextrine is also very important. And these enzymes continue to act upon with the range of the temperature 69 to 75 degrees centigrade temperature. This type of changes happens, that is the starch to dextrine or starch to other molecule. This type of enzymatic change happens in between the 69 to 75 degrees centigrade temperature. The gluten network, already I told you, for the dough making, before the baking, the dough is prepared, the gluten is actually formed. This gluten network actually commences to coagulate or the denature at the temperature of the 74 degrees centigrade. So first, the gelatinization of the starch at 65 degrees centigrade, and then some enzymatic change happens in between the 69 to 75 degrees centigrade or enzymatic reaction. Then the coagulation of the protein or the denaturation of the protein or say gluten is performed by happens at 74 degrees centigrade. But you believe me or not, that is the at center of the bread. Since bread is a fermented product, the temperature is never ever greater than that of 93 to 95 degrees centigrade. Never ever greater than. That means the center of your bread during the ovening or the baking never ever reaches to the boiling point of the water. That is the amazing fact of the bread inside the oven. That is the never ever the center of the bread is not boiled at the boiling temperature of the water. So that is amazing fact. So whenever your center of the bread temperature reaches 93 to 95 degrees centigrade temperature, then you say that your bread is baked, because the heat is supplied from the outside surface, to the inside surface or at the center. So first the outside surface becomes hot, then by means of the conductive mode of heat transfer, the heat is passing from the outside surface to the inside surface. Whenever at the center of your bread reaches to the 93, around 93 to 95 degrees centigrade, then you say that your product is now ready, or it is your baking is completed. Next and last, I will tell about the completion of the baking process is judged by the several properties of the finished product. Your product is baked completely. How you judge it? You judge by finished product color, you write down. If your color of the product in industry, I served few years, I have some experience, so you please note down the finished product. How you identify the finished product is baked or it is now completed its baking parameters. How you judge? You judge by its finished product color. So whenever your product color is desirable or as per your targeted level, then you will stop your baking. Next one is finished product moisture content. In quality department, they can collect the quality department must be present in the food industry. Nowadays, I found or you also found, but 15 years, 20 years before this quality department in the food industry or the bakery industry were absent. But now the quality department is present in each and every bakery industry. So the quality department can collect your product or the finished product. They can check the moisture by the different methods are there. IR moisture meter is there. The traditional oven method is also there. So there are so methods. Generally quick moisture procedure is followed because you have to report into the production area as quick as possible. So how you meet this demand? You have to check the moisture as quick as possible. So finished product moisture content also very important. Finished product final weight is very important. Already I told you the weight is gradually decreasing. Weight is gradually decreasing. Since it is zone 1 to zone 3, the weight is gradually decreasing. Each and every product have a particular final weight that is fixed. So if you measure the weight of this product, if it is targeted level or it is desired level, then you stop your checking, that is it is okay. Finish linear dimension. Linear dimension means that suppose this is your final product. What do you mean by the linear dimension? That is the length, breadth and the width. So these three dimensions are there, this and that. So these dimensions are there. So you have to check the dimensions or this is called in industry linear dimensions. You have to check. And next point is that the finished product general appearance also very important. If your finished product general appearance is something like that, this is good, this is I estimated, this is my general appearance. So if the general appearance is satisfactory, then you stop your quality checking. That means that your quality is good. And final, or that is the very important, that you also performed in your lab, that is the final product taste and the flavor. You check the final product taste and the flavor in laboratory. Similarly like that habit is required for the industry. That is, you have to taste the product, you have to check the flavor of the product. So if the taste is satisfactory, flavor is satisfactory, then you reach your destination. So I think the baking oven now I divided into two parts. This is now I am ending the part 1 because the baking is actually required more lectures. In previous years, I pursue the lectures on baking or the baking oven in 3 classes. Here, as per my recording time, it is looking like 1 hour. So this 1 hour video I will download. This is the part 1 baking oven or baking. Part 2 baking or baking oven I will release shortly. So you follow this lecture, part 1 baking and baking oven lecture very carefully, and I will release part 2 baking oven or bakery oven or baking related lecture shortly. So till you follow this lecture carefully. So again I say, be safe and don't leave from your home. Thank you.